Music is life. Music is land. Every culture is accompanied by sound organized into melody and harmony. In the culture of country music, the song reigns. But in this day and age, when the simulacrum of a Kentucky honky-tonk streams through the zeitgeist, we risk abandoning song at the bank of its source. Atop of a Song. In the summer of 2017, Bianca Palmer, Nick Dorado, and Jeremy Costello played a big booty band set at Sappy Fest. They caught the eye of country songwriter Simone Schmidt. When Schmidt asked them to collaborate on a new Fiverr recording, the three agreed. Based on their improvisational style and geographical origin, Schmidt named them the Atlantic School of Spontaneous Composition.
I was given song at a point in my life where I needed somewhere to go obsessively with my mind. I learned a lot from listening to songs through recordings. One of my great teachers in songwriting was Gene Clark.
Gene Clark was best known as a member of the Byrds. With a mournful voice and insightful lyricism, Clark's solo works were mostly overlooked during his short life. During the days of commercial folk, he honed his chops with Total Square's The New Christy Minstrels. But when the world went electric, he joined Doug Dillard to form the seminal country rock outfit, Dillard and Clark. It's on their 1968 album Fantastic Expedition of Dillard and Clark that Schmidt first heard Train Leaves Here This Morning. Co-written with Bernie Leadon, Train Leaves Here This Morning was popularized by the Eagles in 1972, reaching number 22 on the Billboard charts. It would later recover its dignity through an interpretation by the Seldom Seen.
My idea was to bring in these new players, people who are not
harmony
new to
that
the tradition, and show them these old songs, and then see how to wrangle their improvisational tendencies to bring about like a new way of playing. And what you can hear on the recordings is that there are no stock licks.
Schmidt planned for a week of rehearsals in the small coastal town of La Have on the south shore of colonized Mi'kma'ki. Thwarted by Hurricane Dorian's whipping winds, the unit had to reroute to the north shore at Scotch Village, home of Gold Island Bakery.
It just happened in like a flurry of activity.
Although transit to rehearsals was fraught, the music itself was largely effortless.
It was pretty simple. I would just play country tunes that I knew and see how they took to them. With A Train Leaves Here This Morning, the band took to it very quickly. And I think that's owed to something so relatable that Clark wrote into the character.
Drummer Bianca Palmer.
It's kind of like a dopey tale of a road musician just kind of being lost and flailing and on the run.
The cover opens with the dopiest of fills.
So I wasn't raised in a tradition of country music, but I was raised in a tradition of learning songs. The form is the path to any of them. And actually, like, if you want to learn about those traditions, you can go through the pieces as they exist as sonic structures and understand the way they're put together. It will lead you towards an understanding of the history of human beings and how human beings have moved around the earth.
Next, on Atop of the Song, we discuss Fiverr and the Atlantic School of Spontaneous Composition's cover of It Won't Be Long and I'll Be Hating You.
That was one of the earlier covers that we worked on as a band.
Classically trained singer Jeremy Costello releases music under the moniker Special Costello. Schmidt fell in love with Stoner Nights Volume 2 in 2017 while using it to drown out Jillian Michaels' voice during Body Shred.
In his amazing Special Costello recordings, he does use a lot of reverb and delay. There was a clarity that the world needed to hear.
Let's hear from a music expert.
Well, I can't think of a male voice in country music today that comes even close.
Johnny Paycheck cut his teeth back in country legends George Jones and Porter Wagoner. In 1966, he met record producer Aubrey Mayhew, who founded the independent record label Lil Darlin' Records, for the purpose of releasing Paycheck's standout and outlandish songs.
Johnny Paycheck's voice is amazing, and that he sings with this sort of humility and doesn't take himself too seriously.
Long before he became one of outlaw country's great names, Paycheck wrote It Won't Be Long and I'll Be Hating You with Mayhew and Billy Marin. He released it in 1969 to little acclaim, but generations later, one of the most gratuitously violent video games to hit a console would popularize the song once and for all.
First time I ever heard Hating You was actually in the video game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which has a country music radio station embedded within the game.
Jeremy singing and Hating You brings me so much joy.
Well, you see, I've known Jeremy Costello for many years. We've been through many things together. I still cannot even imagine how he musters that sense of pure vitriol.
I would say Jeremy is as, if not more, a commanding and emotional singer as like 60s era Conway Twitty.
When I sing the lyric, I feel like that is a universal experience when in relationships of all kinds. When you show up for somebody and then it seems like you've done everything you possibly could, but it's still not enough. That's a strong experience that we've all had at some point in our lives.
Another feeling we've all had is the feeling of singing. Singing can be natural. Singing can be forced. Whether you have a voice or not, chances are you're singing in your head. But what happens when that song becomes audible by way of two voices singing at the same time in two distinct pitches? Harmony. Next on Atop of a Song, we explore Fiverr and the Atlantic School of Spontaneous Composition's interpretation of Why Do I Have to Choose?
I love the song Why Do I Have to Choose? Because it complicates this theme of like loving more than one person that is often only relegated to the classic country song about cheating, the cheating song.
Written by Willie Nelson, Why Do I Have to Choose was released twice. First in 1983 as the lead single on Take It to the Limit, and again as a duet with Merle Haggard on 1987's Seashores of Old Mexico.
Dominant heteronormative culture doesn't really allow like room for an exploration of the more tender sides of what it is to love more than one person at once, an often misunderstood predicament.
When I think of her, when I think of you, the love is not the same, but either one is true. Why do I have to choose?
I really like when Jeremy and Simone sing together in harmony.
Recorded to tape at Gavin Gardner's Toronto studio on the same day as the rest of the songs, by all accounts, the session was easy.
Recording with Gavin is like being herded by a gentle giant.
He's got this AKG reverb tank, which we used a lot.
I think it was really effortless because we just knew the tunes and we were just playing them and it was relaxing. And like, again, it's just when it's not a put on, you're always prepared, then there isn't really anything to stress out about. Actually, music can be recorded like all at once, has been for forever. And there's no better way to do it than that, really.
Coming soon, You Wanted Country, Volume 1. Remember, as long as you can sing the song, you've got the song.